Hello children. Today we will read about the changing face of the earth. We know that the earth was formed some 4.6 billion years ago. It is believed that some 180 million years ago the Pangaea broke apart. The Pangaea was a supercontinent. It broke up to form the present day continents. Alfred Wegener gave the continental drift theory in 1926. The lithosphere has several large and some small plates which carry continents and the ocean floor. The plate movements cause changing on the Earth's surface. This change is caused by the two types of forces. First are endogenic forces. Endogenic forces are the forces operating inside the earth that led to the movement and changes on the earth's surface. Second are the exogenic forces. The exogenic forces are the external forces acting on the earth's surface, also contribute to the formation of the surface features. Today we will read about these surface features. First we will read about the exogenic forces. Mountains are built by two forces: folding and faulting. Folding takes place due to collision of plates. Anticlines, the upfolds or the top of mountain, are called anticlines. Syncline, the downfold or the valley formed in between, is called the syncline. The Himalayas are the best example of folding. These are known as young fold mountains. Next is faulting. When two plates pull away or diverge from each other, or when two plates move apart from each other, the crust of the earth fractures. Often, one block of land is lifted above another. This is called faulting. Best example of faulting is the East African Rift Valley. This valley is formed due to faulting. There are some sudden movements inside the Earth's crust, like the earthquakes and volcanoes. First, we will read about the earthquake. The sudden and violent movement of the earth crust is called an earthquake. Earthquakes cause shaking of buildings, ruptures in the walls, and sometimes cracks in the crust. They are caused due to movement of plates or eruption of volcanoes. Earthquakes originate from a point much below the Earth's surface. This point is called focus. Epicenter, the point vertically above the focus on the ground, is called an epicenter. Seismograph is the instrument which measures the intensity of an earthquake. The study of earthquake is called seismology, and the people who study seismology are called seismologists. Now we will read about The Bhuj earthquake. On 26th of January 2001, when India was celebrating its 52nd Republic Day, an earthquake of magnitude of 7.6 hit the area of Bhuj. Its effect was felt till the capital city of New Delhi, northern and central India, Pakistan and Afghanistan. But the city of Gujarat got worst affected. Volcanoes. The sudden eruption of magma, ashes and gases from a vent on the earth's surface is called a volcano. There are three types of volcanoes. First are the active volcanoes. The volcanoes that erupt frequently are called active volcanoes. Second are the dormant volcanoes. The volcanoes that erupt in the past but are now quiet, called the dormant volcanoes. Best example of dormant volcano is Mount Vesuvius in Italy and Yellowstone volcano in Yellowstone National Park in the USA. Third type of volcanoes are extinct volcanoes. Extinct volcanoes are those volcanoes that have not erupted in the past. Some examples of extinct volcanoes are Edinburgh Castle in Scotland. Next are the exogenic forces. Many forces act on the surface of Earth which wear away landscapes. The two processes are mainly responsible for this. Weathering. Weathering is a process of breaking up of rocks into smaller particles and decomposition of rocks. Second is the erosion. Erosion is a process of removal of the top layer of soil from their place of origin by water, wind, and ice. Next, we will read about the fluvial features. Fluvial features are relating to the river, means the features, landform features formed by the rivers. Fluvial features are formed due to the action of river. Some of the main features are waterfall. You might have seen many waterfalls during your visit to places. Falling of river water from a greater height is called waterfall. Many times the river water falls in steps forming rapids. Second feature is valleys. Elongated lowland between two elevated areas is called a valley. Valleys are also called the V-shaped valleys because these appears like the alphabet V. Next are the meanders, loops formed by the twists and turns by the river while entering the plain areas are called meanders. These meanders are S-shaped features. Oxbow Lake. Due to continuous erosion and deposition along the sides of the meander, the end of the meander loop cut off from the river and form a cut-off lake, which is also known as an oxbow lake, which is shown in the picture. Floodplains. The deposition of fine soil and sediments along the river bank leads to the formation of a flat, fertile area called floodplain. Delta. A triangular shaped landform feature formed between the distributaries due to the deposition of sediments at the mouth of the river is called a delta. Sundarban Delta, or which is known as Ganga Brahmaputra Delta, is the world's largest and fast growing delta. Delta is formed at the mouth of the river where river merges with sea. Levees. The raised bank of the river are called levees. Next are the aeolian features. These aeolian features are formed due to the depositional work of wind. Aeolian features are formed because of the wind. Attrition. Attrition is the erosion by friction. The blown particles are also worn round due to the impact of other particles. This is known as attrition. Deflation. It is also erosion by wind. The blowing away of rock particles by wind is called deflation. Sand dunes. Hills of sand deposits by the wind are called sand dunes. Loess. When fine sand particles are deposited over vast area, they form loess. Barchan. Barchans are the crescent-shaped sand dunes. Due to the deposition of particles, sometimes a crescent-shaped sand dune is formed. This is called a barchan. It appears like half moon. Longitudinal dunes. It is a linear accumulation of sand particles in the form of a dune. Next are the coastal features. Coastal features are formed by the action of sea waves on the sea coast and its rocky structure. First are the sea caves. The caves formed due to continuous erosion by waves on the rocks lying on the coast are known as sea caves. Sea arches. Due to weathering by water, the cavities of the caves get bigger and only the roof of the cave is left. And the sea arches are formed. Stacks. When the sea wave erode the roof also, only wall-like structure called stacks are left. These stacks, sea caves are made up with the weathering, and those sea caves became the arches broken into stacks. Sea cliff. The high, steep, rocky coast that rises vertically above the sea water is known as sea cliff. Next are the glacier features. Glaciers are slow moving rivers of ice. Features that are formed due to erosion and deposition to the glaciers are called glacial features or glacier features. First glacier feature is moraines. Moraines are glacial deposits. These are formed because of the deposits brought down by the glaciers. Crevices. The cracks formed on the upper part of the glacier are called crevices. Next are cirques. A basin surrounded by the steep side blunt-headed peaks which look like an amphitheater is called a cirque. Amphitheater is a bowl or sports stadium-like feature. In cirques, the center of the hill is deep and sides of the hills are steep. Icebergs. Floating ice hills are called icebergs. Do you know that the Titanic ship was hit by an iceberg in the Atlantic Ocean and that iceberg sank that ship? With this, I conclude my topic of today. Thank you and have a good day.